court to the field, every game, every fight. He's the voice of the struggle under stadium lights. He's seen the highs and the lows, the wins and the pain, every triumph and tear, every loss in the rain. But through it all, he stands tall, never backs down, with a heart full of love for this sports-loving town. Sports talk we watch, where the passion runs deep. Every story, every glory, every promise we keep. From the love of the game to the struggles we face, he's the voice of the people in the sacred space. Sports talk we watch, where the passion runs deep.
Who else wants some? They say my D-line didn't exist. Bullshit.
Are you practicing to practice, or are you practicing to be great?
Which way am I going?
What's coming? You on the way?
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? How y'all doing out there tonight? Welcome to Sports Talk with B. Watts, along with Uncle Steve and JR Boxing on A Tuesday tonight. Only thing that we ask that you do on your way in, hit the like button. Hit that like button. Hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell notification. It'll let you know whenever we go live or drop a video. And also, if you'd like to continue to support the broadcast, join the membership. Join the membership. We'll appreciate everything you do for Sports Talk. We'll be wise. Appreciate it. All right. Hey, got a good show once again for you today. Tonight, want to thank everybody who tuned in to my early morning edition at 11 a.m. We had a good time, and I appreciate all of you who have supported my morning edition. It's been a blessing. It's been a blast so far to talk about Shedeur Sanders and the Cleveland Browns in that morning edition. And also, we're going to hit it on tonight a little bit, and also we're going to touch on a few players around the league from the Colorado Buffalo family. All right? So let me bring up the guys, and we'll get into this thing. Let me see, can I find them? All right, we got Appreciate it. Let's see. Let me see, can I find JR? Oh, I saw him. Once again, you're watching Sports Talk with B. Watts. All right. JR pop up when he get a chance. I already done clicked on him. All right, we got to say hello to everybody in the chat. Everybody in the chat, how y'all doing? Let's see who we got in here. All right. Let's see. Chad Griffin, what's going on? Patricia McGee, Sabrina Blankenship. I love CC. What's going on? How y'all doing? Thank y'all for rocking with us. Thank you for rocking with us. BP, TM, SB. How you feeling today? Appreciate it. All right. Miss E. Willow, how you doing? Kenneth Wilson, what's up, man? Appreciate you joining the membership, brother. All right, I think I got everybody. TC, what's going on? You all right? Thank you. Miss Val, how you feeling? Thank you. X in the cut. Saying, what's up, Aunt? What's up, JR? Zipper Jones, what's up, man? Thank you for joining the membership, my brother. Miss Harris, how you doing? All right. All right, we can rock. My dogs are in the cut. Oh man, some old people don't jump in. Good gracious. Hey, I get y'all. Let me get this show started. I get you. I see you, Miami. I see you, son of Yahweh. Uh, FD, what's going on? Miss Selma Johnson. What's going on, Miss Selma? How you doing? There go your boy up top, Steve. Oh, yeah. All right, my dogs. They ain't got a chance to talk to y'all in a while. Shedeur Sanders is in Cleveland, and he had his mini camp, his rookie mini camp. What's going on, Miss Phyllis Smith? I left you a message over there on Instagram in your DM, Miss Smith. Uh, man, what's going on? JR, Shedeur Sanders. Oh, JR got on his shade tonight. Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders just had his mini camp at the Cleveland Browns rookie mini camp. JR, I just got a question, man. What will Shedeur have to do to be quarterback number one? The first game out the shoot. What are some things that he'll have to do to become quarterback one? Talk to me, my brother.
G Watts, Uncle Steve, what's going on, man? Y'all can hear me, everything coming through clear.
Yeah, you sound like you got a new mic or new something. You're brand new on me.
Brand new, man. It's a brand new day. Got the stunner shades on and everything like that. Cause we stunting on them. You know what I'm saying? We stunting for 2 and for 12. 12 and for 2. That's what we stunting for. But that's a good question, D Watts. As far as what Shador gotta do to be QB number one to start the season or just QB number one?
Now to start game one,
To
what he got
start
to do?
game one.
Start game
Uh
one.
Man, he got to go in there. He got to overly impress, right? Rookie mini camp, that was impressive, but he got to overly impress if he want to go in and be QB1 day one. And I feel as though he could do it. We know he could do it. We've seen it time or two. We've seen it enough. We've seen it over 4 years of his collegiate career. But he don't have to prove it to us. He got to prove it to we talking about $1 billion corporation, right? In the Cleveland Browns. So that's who he has to prove it to. Go in, be diligent in his studies, uh, be that field general. But he probably gonna need a little luck on his side too. Whether it be injury or trade, whatever the case may be, because he's climbing an uphill battle. But in 12, I trust. So I think the young man can go in there. He could definitely get it done. He has the acumen to be a leader. He has the vision to understand how to be the face of a franchise. And I don't like to use the word groom because it seems like creepy to me, but he was raised to be this guy, and he gonna show that during mini camp with the Browns. What's going on, Steve? It's to you.
Well, how you doing, JR? How you doing, B-Wise? Before I get started, I'm going to say happy belated Mother's Day to all those precious, beautiful, virtuous women we have out there that have handled their business and done things the right way and lead and guide us in life and support us and are there for us each and every day. So I want to say a happy belated Mother's Day. We can't say thank you, and we can't tell you how much we love and appreciate and care for you enough. So I'll start it off with that because it's always about showing appreciation and doing what's right. The next thing is this one here. If we're talking about, if I call him two, y'all can call him 1, 2. Some people call him 12. It don't make a difference which one you want to call him. But this is what two has to do. Two had a perfect example of what he need to do. That was hiking him the ball, his center. Y'all need to think about Cash Cleveland. What did Cash Cleveland do? Cash Cleveland was ready. That's what he has to do. When your time is called, it don't make a difference if it's the 16th game, it's the first game, if it's the seventh game, if it's the sixth game. You need to be ready. When your number is called, you need to be ready. So all he should be doing right now is called being prepared and ready to go. That's what two needs to do, or 1, 2, or 12. That's what he needs to do. All that other stuff of, oh, he got, I laugh sometimes because the expectations of certain people are totally different from others. 2, 12, 2, I'm gonna call them two. Y'all can call whatever you want to. Two passes got to be straight. They got to be crisp. They got to be on point. He got to move his feet right. Show me a game in which you saw a quarterback, and I saw some quarterbacks. Steve Young had one of the most perfect games I've seen in that Super Bowl, the way he was moving. But he still made errors in it. Our expectations and things like that, y'all need to stop it. I don't go for that crap. If the ball is wobbly and the receiver catch the ball, you know what they call that? A completed pass. That's all they call it. You know what y'all do? But the ball wobble. Man, please be quiet. I saw Lamar Jackson throw somebody a ball and hit him in the hand, and the man dropped it, and the season was over. So what difference does it make that the ball went straight in his hand and everything? If you drop it, it don't make a difference. But with all that being said, two needs to be ready. Quit all the other stuff. Quit worrying about people. And he's doing what he's done all of his life. B. Watts. Why are we surprised? He stays extra after practice, or he's done that his whole life. He goes to schools and help kids. He's done it his whole life. He did it at Trinity because Coach Prime them not only took him to other schools, he took them to doggone the elderly people. They went to the elderly went to those places. So this ain't nothing new, but y'all get on here and y'all so impressed. Oh, did you see? Let me explain something to you. If you got a good mother and she does everything right all the time, why are we surprised when somebody else see that she's a good woman and she does things the right way? Why are we're not surprised. That's what we see every day. When I see my mama, I see that woman every day. You ain't gonna surprise me to tell me she's a good woman. You're not gonna surprise me to tell me my wife is a good wife. I see it every day. So why is it when this man is showing you every day that this is what? Now, one thing I will say, let me hit this now. The CU aunties, now they don't play. They are not. They don't allow them clowns over there on that Cleveland thing with that foolishness. They jump on them so quick. They like. I saw one guy today. Oh, I apologize. I just didn't want to. I didn't mean it that way. What I meant was, we got some work to do. They don't play that mess. So with that being said, I'll leave it as this. All two got to do is do what two does all the time and be ready. And the talking is over with. Back to you, B. Watts.
Hey, that's a good point. Both of y'all made some good point. But JR, you got Flacco, you got Kenny Pickett, you got Dylan Gabriel in that quarterback room with Shedeur. What are some challenges he will face going up against these four quarterbacks? Deshaun Watson, Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel.
Look, man, the fan in me want to say nothing, man, but understanding organizations, understanding NFL. Look, there's an organizational construct that he's fighting uphill. Um, right now, you're the last quarterback in the room, and that's a challenge within itself. So he's built for pressure moments. Like Uncle Steve said, he gonna continue to be him. He gonna go in there. He gonna do what he need to do. Now, is Dylan Gabriel built for that pressure? I don't think so. Is Joe Flacco? Does Joe Flacco care to be scrutinized and under that much pressure? I don't think so. He at the tail end of his career. Look, as a almost completely retired man myself, I can tell you when you got one foot out the door, you got one foot out the door. It is what it is. I told
You
myself,
already
man,
go.
look, I want to
Hey,
finish as
JR.
strong as I
Hey, JR.
can.
Hey, JR. They
Yeah.
told me, they said, "Hey man, you leaving the 1st of June, right? Yeah, you ain't been all last week. Man, Jake can take the whole next week out too." I said, "Okay." I said, "Y'all still gonna pay me?" He said, "Yeah, but we're gonna take that
Yep.
PTO time."
I'm still getting paid, So I was going through that myself, man. Look, I gotta finish strong. I gotta do this for my patients. I gotta do this. I gotta do. Man, look, I was one foot out the door. Soon as I hit submit for retirement. My mind was already thinking about vacations, what I'm gonna do with my what me and my wife gonna do, how I'm giving back to my daughter, all of those other things. So Joe Flacco at the end of his career, retirement is more in front of him than his playing days. So what two the thing for two is gonna be him being himself, and by him being himself, applying the pressure on Dylan Gabriel. Because I don't know if he built for that. Kenny Pickett, I don't think he's built for that. So those organizational constructs that are already in front of two, as long as he being himself, he's gonna be perfectly fine. And look, Cleveland, they don't have a good track record of just having one starting quarterback. They play a lot of guys through the year. You could tell with Deshaun Watson and old J-Bo. I'm a big fan of Jameis Winston, but J-Bo played, Deshaun played, and then Dorian Thompson Robinson, he played. They played three quarterbacks last year. The year before that, they played another three quarterbacks. So Shedeur's time is gonna come, like Uncle Steve said. You take a page out of Cash Cleveland book and just be ready. That's it. It's to you, Uncle Steve.
JR, you knocking it out the box. And I would say this here. When does a lion worry about what a hyena worry about hyenas? They don't. You the king of the jungle. When you the king of the jungle, you put your leg up, and when you squirt on every tree in the jungle because you own all of it. It's his room. I ain't saying that he goes in there arrogant or anything else, but mentally, the only person he competing against is himself because no one in there is greater than him. And that should be anybody. I don't compete. That man next to me, I tell him, I'm like, you got to worry about me. I ain't got to worry about you because if I do what I'm supposed to do, I'm a hard out. And when you are hard out, you
Yep.
can just let them know. And that puts even more pressure on somebody when they know they're like, man, look at Mayweather. Mayweather don't go in no fight talking about something. He worried about what you gonna do. Mayweather gonna let you know you got to worry about me because you're not gonna be able to hit me, and I'm gonna hit you, and I'm gonna move around, and I'm gonna be the most prepared. I'm gonna be the most physical, the have the best shape and condition. So when you look at it, I think we look at things a little. I understand what the question is, but at the end of the day, he, two is like the nature boy. Woo! You got to climb Space Mountain, baby, and he is at top of Space Mountain. And what he's gonna do, he's gonna put pressure on you. Two put pressure on you because of this one here. When two goes out there, if you look at that offense, even when them little 7-on-7, it didn't look like no regular scrimmage. It looked like they were prepared, they were organized, that ball was moving. The only thing two has to do is this. He's going to have to speed it up a little bit on the checkdowns. Now, those are things, but those are simple things. Those are things, the more that Coach Reese works with him, that quarterback's coach, the better he's going to be with it. So with that thing, two's just working on refining himself. And as long as he's refining himself, nobody out there is going to be able to handle him because he got something going for him. He got it. It is when it's fourth down and it's 1:40 to go in the game and we need to go 80 yards, two can do it. And the people who are there know two can do it. So if that being said, be yourself, keep being great, keep going up there, understanding. Now, this is one thing two got that his daddy did. Two makes everybody in that locker room feel special. And as long as he continue to make people feel special, and as long as he keep performing and showing, and this what he do, all that bling, we can turn the bling off right now. I need them to see my game. When the commercials start coming on, they can see the bling then. Now it's about seeing your game and seeing how you can help them win. That's what two's gonna do. Back to you, B. Watts.
All right, good point, fellas. Good point. All right, JR. Let's say they start off with the vet, like everybody over there on X saying, right? Let's say they start off with Flacco. At what point, and what is your prediction? Shedeur will start a game for Cleveland. They need to see what Shedeur can do. Or Dylan Gabriel. They drafted 2 quarterbacks, right? They drafted 2. You really don't want to go into next year when you know you got a first round draft pick, still kind of wondering, do you need a quarterback when you just spent 2 picks on quarterback this year? So what is your prediction of Shedeur starting a game? What game by?
Yeah, I'm gonna say probably game 5, something like that. It'll be around game 5. Because what I know about the NFL, man, they do a lot of things conventional. So I'm not mad if Joe Flacco come out there and he taking the first snaps of the season. Because that's conventional NFL football. That's what they do. We're gonna go with the seasoned vet, right? Because they're trying to win, right? Right, Uncle Steve? They're trying to win. Look, with Cleveland Browns, when it comes to the AFC North, they are the furthest team away from winning the Super Bowl. So we know it's not about winning for them, but they have to come out and show face. You got to come out and throw something at the wall and see if it sticks. So conventionally, they probably gonna roll out there with Joe Flacco. But I say around game 5, 6, something like that, it's gonna be the 12 show. Like they're gonna be looking because now they gotta what we got by then. And the reason why I'm saying this because he didn't already surpass Dylan Gabriel in training camp. So he coming into the season, he probably coming into the season either quarterback 2, at worst quarterback 3 on the depth chart. But I'm thinking he coming in as quarterback 2. We know him as 2. Uncle Steve call him 2. So I'm thinking he coming in as 2. So he might be behind Flacco. Because I don't think old small hands Pickett is going to live up to the task. So around about game 5, 6, they're going to be looking. The organization need to know. You called it out, BYS. They need to know what they going forward with. And if you bringing them in, towards the end of the season, look, you ain't even giving them a fighting chance. You're not giving your organization a fighting chance to know what you got. So I'm gonna go with game 5. That's me. It's to you, Uncle Steve.
Hey, man, this is a complicated answer. Very complicated because you don't know a lot of variables. The first variable is this one here. Who they're going to trade. They have to trade somebody. They're going to have to trade Flacco or Pickett. And the reason I say that is because of this one here. They lost draft picks on Pickett, which was a num-num. You gave up draft picks to get Pickett. That's the first num-num thing you did. The second num-num thing you did, you had the number 2 pick. If you weren't planning on drafting 2, you should have drafted Travis Hunter. And then you could have swung right back around and got 2, and you'd have had Colorado. Then you could have turned around and got LeJounte. Now you got an offense that you can do something with Jared Judy. But I ain't a general manager. I don't know much. And you wouldn't have gave away nothing. And then you still would have had the running backs and the tight ends that you drafted. But not y'all. Y'all going to give up draft picks in the 5th round to get 2. You give up even more draft picks. So how brilliant are you? And then you got a 3rd round pick, and you get a quarterback that you can't use with a 3rd round pick, and you need receivers. So let's first thing they need to do is straighten out what kind of general manager you got first. Because the moves that he made, I hate to tell you, weren't good moves. Weren't good moves at all. That 3rd round pick and Kenny Pickett, I don't get it. I don't get it, and I never will get it. Terrible moves. Even worse, when you see Travis Hunter go to the Hall of Fame and you sitting up there with somebody who just played some good games. That's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt. But let's get to 2 on when he gonna start. I see it like this here. Trade Kenny Pickett to the New Orleans Saints, and don't be don't be no none because New Orleans want 2 now. And the crazy part, New Orleans knew that guy was injured. They knew that. They knew he was injured. They knew he wasn't going to play. So the games that they played made no sense. Now the problem goes, they can't satisfy their fan base now. That's why they trying to put rumors out. We trying to get 2 because the fan base is infuriated. They are looking. We could have had our quarterback and we could be ready, but y'all pull this boo-boo move. Okay, let's go there. So first thing, get Pickett to New Orleans or wherever you want to go. Now Pickett's out the way. What's going to happen is this one here. The general manager picked Gabriel 3rd round. Ain't nowhere in the world they're going to let 2 go over that 3rd round pick, because if you did that, the owner gonna look at him really sideways. Well, why did you waste that pick on somebody that the one that I told you to pick is better than it? That's the first thing. So what I see is this one here. I see your boy Flacco getting out there first. Flacco's going to get out there. Thank you, our Zizzle. He went on there. Their schedule is brutal. So with that being said, the medical tent will come up. Flacco going to get that. Flacco going to find somewhere. They're going to put the medical tent on Flacco by game 4 or 5. He's going to have some hard games. They're not going to be moving the ball. The fans are going to come out. They're going to be infuriated. They're going to be like, we want to change. They're going to make a change to Dylan. Dylan's going to be the first one coming off that thing when they make that when they switch off for Flacco, and when they put Dylan in there, this is what's going to happen with Dylan. Dylan going to come in there. He's going to make a few plays. They're going to be excited, and then his size is going to show up because good coaches are going to come out and they're going to force him to start rolling on all plays. And you can't roll in the NFL against the Pittsburgh Steelers, because who do you have on the end for Pittsburgh? You got somebody, Watts. He will have 30 sacks in that game with a quarterback that's rolling. So that won't work against the Pittsburghs. That ain't going to work against the Baltimores that rolling. So you're going to hurt him. So his game is going to look a little limited. And when that happens, game 7, 8 is when 2's going to come out, because of the fact that the fans are going to be like, we want 2. And the next thing you're going to have is this one here. They're going to be seeing all those highlights and people talking about, because this is what you're going to hear. Jerry Jeudy going to start saying, man, we got a quarterback in practice, man. He lighting it up. I think he got some talent. And when they see 2 lighting it up in practice and them boys going deep and stuff like that, them dudes going to be like, man, we need to put him in there. So I see game 7 or 8, 2 will get in there, and the rest is history. The rest will be history, because once he get in, he ain't coming out. Back to you, B. Watts.
Okay. All right. Still, you hitting right along on it. The Cleveland fan base, the dog pile, their reaction if they don't see Shedeur on that field as quarterback. Talk to me, JR. They done seen minicamp. The videos is out there. Dominate. But the coaching staff decide to go with the vet. But in practice, They seeing the video that's been released on social media. Shedeur out there killing it. Jerry Judy catching, but they roll Flacco or Kenny Pickett out there. What kind of reaction you think that dog pound and that Cleveland fan base will be doing?
Boo! I will be booing from my couch
Oh
here in
man.
North Carolina for the Cleveland fan base because they deserve better, B. Watts. They deserve better, Uncle Steve. Boo! Get his own boo! Small hands, two gloves, boo! All that in the third. I mean, it's gonna be all over the place because you got to think the tape don't lie. And when they open up those practices to those reporters that report on the team, and they're looking at their local news and they seeing snippets of this and they're scouring YouTube and TikTok and Instagram and they seeing all of this, they're gonna be like, something not clicking. But you got to go back to what Uncle Steve said. You got to go back to that original question that you had, B. Watts. What difficulties does Shedeur have in front of him? It's an organizational construct, and he got to navigate through that. Uncle Steve laid out a perfect picture. They rolling out there with Flacco or two hands too small Pickett, and then they got to let them go through the motions because they acting like they trying to win. You didn't put a third round draft pick in Kenny Pickett. I don't know why, because he don't have no connection to Tommy Reese. Now I can see if Pickett had a connection to Tommy Reese, and you're like, you know what? We bringing in Tommy Reese, new offensive coordinator, yada yada yada. He worked well with Kenny Pickett in college, or he worked well with Kenny Pickett at this last NFL stop. Nah, dog, that ain't it. Tommy Reese been in the NFL 2 years. There's no connection there. So I don't get that. But you gotta save face. The general manager gotta save face because his job on the line. He gotta answer to his boss. Well, we made this third round pick. Pickett got tape. We can work with him. Tommy Reese can do this, da 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 da, this, that, and the third. All while the Cleveland fan base is going, boo! That pressure gonna be too much. It's gonna be it's too much. Because we see, I don't lie to us. You saw the mini camp tape. If Shedeur would have threw an interception in mini camp, that thing would have been filtered through everybody's feed, whether we like it or not. Whether that's in your algorithm currently, it would have made it to your algorithm. But we didn't.
Right.
So he gonna go through mini camp. He gonna look good in mini camp with the reps that he gets, and the fan base gonna be looking like, all right, dog. I know we ain't going nowhere with Flacco. We done seen the pedestrian attempts with Kenny Pickett throughout his NFL career this far. We don't know what we get in Dylan Gabriel or Shedeur, but we know what we see on tape. And so you need to put out what we see on tape. And if Shedeur is putting out the best tape, the fan base is gonna be calling for that early and often. I'm with you, Cleveland. Early and often, I'll be booing from the comforts of my home here in North Carolina. It's to your stage.
Wow. Wow. Hey, B.
Oh
Watts,
God, crazy.
I sent you a video one time, and this guy was on the train. And when he was on the train, that's how the Cleveland Browns fans gonna act if two don't get in that game. So if you had him on there and showed the people how they'll be acting, I think they'll understand what would be going on. I don't know if you have it, if you kept it, but if you did, this would be the perfect time to show them how the Cleveland fans are going to be acting if he ain't in the game. But if you don't, I'll keep going. I digress. This is what
I don't think
happens.
I got that.
What's say, sir? This is where I'll go with
I don't
this
think
one here.
I can't find it.
No, not a problem. If you say
Nah,
you
I
can't
got
find
it. Go ahead.
this is where I go with the Cleveland fans. Now, something I can tell you, they are blue collar city. And those people work hard for their money. And when you work hard for your money and you getting a ticket and you ain't seeing what you paying for, one thing I can tell you about their radio station, if you a Christmas tree, they gonna light you up. They are going to express themselves, and they're not going to be kind about it because you're seeing everybody around you winning. And please don't let Cincinnati be winning. Then you got Pittsburgh. Man, you the only one losing. That's not a good look. And with that being said, the fans are tired, man. The fans are tired. The fans don't care who this person is. They want to have somebody who can bring hope back to Cleveland.
Right.
And that's what they want.
Right.
So with that being said, they don't care and they see it in two. And they see it in two because he's magical, man. The dude just makes plays. And when you make plays, and then that gets the confidence of the offensive line going and the receivers over there, because people need to realize, even for teams that lose, the more you educate yourself with football, it's money involved in this. When receivers get X amount of yards, ask your boy, the boy from Tampa Bay, that receiver who got that doggone extra $2 million for getting another, 11 years of consecutive 1,000 yards. That dude got $2 million raise. A guy for the Denver, let's see, I don't know if he's for the Denver Broncos. I think he is from the Denver Broncos, but it's an offensive lineman thought he had 65% of the snaps. He was only making $1.3 million, but he missed it like 0.02. He missed it by 2 snaps. This dude lost an additional $2 million in incentives because of the snaps you play under your contract. With all that being said, it's just it, man. Them players gonna want to put a player in the game who's gonna help them get their numbers and win. Because if I'm Jerry Jeudy and I got all these incentives on my contract, I'm not listening to Gabriel or Kenny Pickett's throwing the ball on the ground and you sitting there like, man, I saw Jameis Winston throw for 500 and some yards. Jameis Winston threw for 5, and Jerry Jeudy probably had 250 in that game. All I'm saying is this one here. That dude wants somebody to get him the ball. And when the fans see that they got somebody sitting on that bench and that general manager in his feelings, like he babyface over there, them feelings just ain't feelings anymore. Now, if you want to hear a song, when he said them feelings just ain't feelings anymore, now that's going to be the general manager because he's going to be in his feelings that the quarterbacks he chose ain't getting it done. And everybody looking at the bench, you got everybody over there with their wrist up like this is talking about that's who we want. This what time it is. It's 2 time. It's 2 time. We need some legendary in there. And that's going to be a problem. Because can you imagine all the fans up there and everybody doing this? And if you know they doing this, you're going to get somebody start doing this to the general manager because they ain't putting up with that mess. So with that being said, that's what you're going to start seeing. And they're going to say, oh, Unc told me to do this. Everybody in Cleveland, by game 5, y'all need to start doing this here. This is who we want. Back to you, B-Wise.
Well, you crazy, man. You crazy, man. Look, man, somebody want to bless me, man. Y'all, I got to get this blessed, man. I got to get blessed, man. I got to put my... You want to bless me, I'm going to let him bless. JR ain't talking about nothing. What that song ain't talking about nothing. Steve, what that song them young kids be saying ain't talking about nothing.
Ain't talking about nothing. You ain't talking
Ain't talking
about
about nothing. They go that cash out, my dog. But check this out though, Uncle Steve. Yeah, hey, I'm sorry, Steve. I gotta put you in there too. You ain't talking about nothing. But hear me though, fellas. Hey, we got 435 people tonight. I tell y'all, Tuesday night is one of the hottest nights with Uncle Steve and J.R. Boxing. They good at what they do. I don't know what Steve drinking, but I'm sure it's something else inside that punch. I love CC, Miss Selma Jones. They ain't just red for nothing. It ain't that red. I ain't never seen a or drank that red. It's something mixed in there, y'all.
It's medicine. It's medicine. They used to call it back. The
Yeah,
Indians used to call
he
it
been in the lab.
Suriname.
Hey, he been in the lab, y'all. He been mixing up. I just he mixing something. He mixing something, but still though, I want to hit on this right here. Check this out. Check this out, Jr. What's important? I know you're not inside the building, but what's important? Talk to me, chat. Talk to me, chat. What's important? To win now or to win later for the Cleveland Browns? What you think important? What should be important? I don't know how they think it. I don't know if they wait on their quarterback for next year or what.
Man, that's a complex question right there, B Watts, because the way I look at it, like if you ask Miles Garrett, he want to win right now. He done put his body on the line for that organization time and time again, and they paid him handsomely this offseason. But you ask a player like Miles Garrett, you put a microphone in front of his face and you ask that question to Miles Garrett, he said, I want to win right now. But if you go talk to the GM, Barry, they always trying to think 3, 4 years down the line. We're trying to put this construct together. Like we want to win, but we can definitely look to acquire more draft picks. I mean, that's what they did this past year. Acquire more draft picks for 2026 to put themselves in the running for another quarterback, potentially, right?
Right,
So
right,
and then if you ask the fan base, look, I don't know what fan you ever talk to for any team. We could be the 1-11 Buffs, and we're gonna be like, man, hey, we winning something this year. We want to win, right?
right,
Look, Coach Prime came to see you knowing they was 1-11. We follow Coach Prime now. We was like, oh nah, he finna win it right now. We knew dang well he had a Mount Everest mountain to get over. But as fans, we want to win now. That Cleveland fan base, they've been deprived. They definitely want to win now. You ask players on the team, they want to win now. Because Unc said it, winning brings more money. It just does. But if you ask the coach and the GM, if Jimmy Haslam then gave them the okay, man, y'all good for next year. All right, then next year we rolling into 2026, and this is what we looking to acquire. That's why we made these moves. That's why we traded around a third round pick for Kenny Pickett. That's why we did this. They trying to make moves because they thinking about winning later or putting together a complete roster later. They gonna put together a roster right now, but it just depends on who you ask. So if I'm a player sitting up in that organization, I want to win right now. You need to put the best doggone
right.
quarterback out there that's going to help me win right now. Because NFL stands for not for long. National Football League, not for long. Players get paid, they get injured, career could be over. We don't know what's in that contract clause.
Mhm.
Injury settlement, all kind of stuff. You see, they going after Deshaun Watson for some money because he not rehabbing the correct way or not wearing his boot the proper time. So it's all kind of stuff. There's no guaranteed money in the NFL outside of what you sign up front. Everything else is up in the air. So them players want to win right now. The organization always thinking about 3, 4 years down the line. The owner, he just want to make as much money as possible. But
Yeah,
me, as a fan, as a new fan, as a 12 fan, I want to see him win right now. Like Jimmy said, I'm ready right now. See you, Uncle Steve.
Gr, it's funny the lie that's told by every football fan and every football GM and every football coach. It's about winning. That's what they say. So how is it about winning and you kicking the can down the road talking about something, well, we're trying to build something. Either it's about winning or it's not. You can't have it both ways. Can't have it in both holes. You got to pick one. Which one? That's all I'm saying. Which hole the rabbit gonna go in? So all I'm telling you is this one here. You're not gonna sell me on that foolishness when they come and say, "Oh man, it's about winning." Really, really, the way that team is constructed, you're telling me it's about winning? The way your salary cap is going, it's about winning. The question should be this, B. Watts. What is the vision for the Cleveland Browns? Because you have to have somebody up in leadership. See, this is where the problem goes. Where's the GM telling the people, leading the people, saying, this is our vision, this is the direction we're going to go? I don't hear none of that. Now, something I can say is this one here. The Tennessee Titans, whether you like them or don't like them, I love the direction they're going. They done got Cam Ward. They done put him on his pedestal. They done put everything around him. They done brought a receiver he got from doggone Miami, brought that boy over there as an undrafted free agent because he said he wanted him. They're putting the offensive line. The offensive line was decent anyway. They put around him. They got the media loving on him and everything else because they're building him as, oh, he's different. He's a team lead. But they going to see something. Once they start hitting him and things don't go the way he want to, he going to say something. Then they going to do what they always do for a person. Oh, he it's something about him, his attitude. It's going to happen, but just wait. But I'll digress on that. Getting back to this, I think the problem is this here, B-Watch. It's hard to answer a question for a team that has no vision. You're telling me, is it about winning now, winning later? If it's about winning, hear what I'm saying. This is winning here. First thing I'm doing winning is this one here. I'm going in there and I'm telling the Stefanski, let us find out who in this quarterback room is going to be our future. You got Gabriel and you got two. That's the first thing I'm saying. Who is going to be our future?
Talk, sir.
And if they can't get, yes, sir.
I'm agreeing with you. Talk, sir. Talk.
Okay, this is what I'm saying. This is the first thing I'm doing. Who's going to be our future? Okay.
Yeah.
Once the coach comes and said, hey, because both of them are your future, because you got to keep both now. Because I'm looking at it, whoever it is going to be the backup because you're not paying them nothing. So you'll have your starting quarterback and you got your backup because you still need to win if something happens to one or the play goes down and the play goes up for the other one. You're still winning because you're not spending no money. The next thing I'm doing is this one here. I'll let the organization know, out of respect for Myles Garrett and love that he's shown for the city of Cleveland, we're going to provide him an opportunity to go to a team that he wants to go to, and we're going to get all that capital for him. Because this is vision. Because people are like, well, why would you do that? This is why you'll do it. Who's in their division? You in the AFC. You got, I'll say again, you got Lamar Jackson, you got Joe Burrow, and you got Mahomes, and you got Josh Allen. Now tell me what team Cleveland gonna have within the next 3 years that's gonna beat those teams. I'm waiting with the salary cap. They don't get out of their salary cap mess until this year. They paid him $26 million for hot fingers, and then next year is gonna be $46 million that they owe, and then they're done with him. After that $46 million, they're done with Watson. So you got 2 more years. You got this year and next year. Then they're done with Watson. So by that time, you got 2 first-round picks next year. You can sell this here. You mess around and get the first pick or the second pick, I can trade that, and now I got 3 more first-round picks because you're going to get 3 first-round picks because everybody think they got the greatest quarterbacks ever, and next year is going to be the worst quarterbacks, period, because they haven't done nothing. They haven't proven anything, those quarterbacks that are coming back. Now you got 3 first-round picks on top of the 2 that you already have. So all I'm saying is this one here. If you got vision, you can build your team. And now I can start building around my quarterback. And then I got my quarterback, I got my 2 running backs, I got my tight end, I got a defensive tackle that you already drafted. Now tell me with 3 first-round picks, then you turn around, get second-round picks and third-round picks. man, you can fill your whole, you can be like the Dallas Cowboys when it comes to filling rosters out. And then you can go and look at other players on your team because you got young cornerbacks at 24, Ward and the other boy, they're 24. You will have a team in which your organization can say, I can sell this, B-Watch. Watch how I can sell this. In 2 years, 2 to 3 years, we're going to be running for a Super Bowl because we're going to have quarterbacks on those other teams, and we're going to have youth, and our salary cap are going to be in line where we can go out and get anybody we want to if we wanted to, because we'll have all that money. We're not paying anybody. Then you turn around and say, we're going to be playing quarterbacks that are going to be long in the tooth, that are 33 and 34 years of age and got beat up and tired. And some of them going to be tired of saying, hey, they got their Super Bowl, they done. Now I got a young quarterback that's just been in the league 2 or 3 years, 26, 27 years old, with all of that talent and all that playing time. Now we can win. That's a vision. But what Cleveland got right now, they got something called an S show. And they need to clean it up. Back to you, BY.
He meant a Shedeur show, y'all, not the other S show. But check this out, y'all. Check this out, y'all. Stay right there, what you doing. When we're going to transition to some Colorado football. If you watch Shedeur, you look around. This goes for you all too, chat. If you're Shedeur, if you look at your situation, where you at right now, Cleveland Brown was the only team that drafted you and gave you a chance. But if you were Shedeur, would you want to stay in Cleveland as a quarterback and try to compete for the starting position with that quarterback room with Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, or be traded to the New Orleans Saints if you were Shedeur?
Woo, that's tough. Because yeah, look, this organization drafted me. The other organization passed on me several times. Oh man. Look, if I'm Shador, I go where I plant my feet right there where I'm at in Cleveland. Uh, because it's about being a professional now. So you go in with the opportunity that's given to you, and you make the best of that opportunity. Um, I would lean to say that the Cleveland organization is a little bit more stable than what the Saints are right now, with a new head coach there and things like that. I believe they probably have a new GM as well. Um, so I would lean to say Cleveland just tad bit more stable. But the way just break it down, man, I'm like, oh, they really stable, man. I mean, they may be stable, but they definitely ain't got no vision. So I would plant my feet right there in Cleveland, and I'm gonna make it happen. I'm gonna make it legendary right there on the scene. Because with the Saints, yeah, I just don't know. Look, their offense. I mean, their head coach has a great track record as being an offensive coordinator. But one thing I know about the NFL, outside of Mike Tomlin, there ain't a lot of job security. They running through them real quick. I mean, my Texans, they went through two coaches in 2 years, back to back. Both black men too. Got them out of there quick. So uh yeah, if I'm Shador, man, I stay where I'm at. The organization Cleveland, as unstable as they are, if you compare it to the Saints right now, I think they just a little bit more stable than the Saints. It's you, Uncle Steve.
JR, when I say you thoughtful with your words, but I'm not. If the same
I'm impressed with the way.
boy, look at that.
My bad.
B Watch gonna cut me. You done interrupted B Watch, you done cut me.
Nah, I'm not. I ain't know what you finna say. I said, oh. I said, oh.
Hey, B Rock be like,
Let me
we
pause
need to
this.
go to a commercial break. We need to go to a commercial break. I'm getting ready to say something. No, This is what I'll tell them. If the
Yeah.
Saints asked me to come to their organization after what they did, I would play NWA. And they said something to the police, and they had a word in front of it. That's what I tell them. But I put that word and then I'd had the Saints to it, and I keep it moving. Or I'll be the great Bernie Mac. What he told them. He said he's used that word 3 or 4 times and tell them what they need to do. So that's what I would tell them, because they can get it. They can get it. The Saints can get it. Now with Cleveland is this way. You know, I think we're mistaken at times to my Cleveland gave him a chance. Cleveland was nowhere. Cleveland was going nowhere. They didn't get his man no chance. They needed to. The NFL needed to. Ask yourself, who was watching the NFL if it wasn't for that? If it wasn't for 2 slides, man, that would have had the lowest ratings ever. Who's talking about Cam Ward right now? Who's talking about any draft pick that was drafted in the NFL draft? Nobody ain't talking about them. Who's talking about who's excited? Who's a story? None of them. So I'm not giving Cleveland no credit. You didn't do anything. You really hated on him because he was getting ready to go to Philadelphia, which he could have turned around at Philadelphia. Get hurt. he on Super Bowl. He on Super Bowls with the Philadelphia Eagles. So I'm like, and he learning from the best, coming from, Jalen and going from there and a winning tradition and a team that's going to go get it, and a general manager that's a visionary that got he got the SEC team over in Philadelphia. That's the SEC in Philadelphia. But with that being said, 2 don't owe nobody nothing, because what they did, they didn't do him no favors. I'm not giving them no credit. They did him 0 favors. Because they needed him. They need to sell tickets. Because what they got right now is like my boy David Ruffin. Ain't nobody coming to see Cleveland. Ain't nobody come here to see Cleveland. They didn't. And that's the truth. Whether you like it or dislike it, they don't. It's cold. I've been to Cleveland. I've been up there, man. It's pretty, as they downtown and stuff like that. But I'm like, hey, other than that, man, I'm like, please, you can keep that.
Yep.
You can keep that. It ain't the weather, man. Ain't nobody. You that's just baby making weather up there. But with all that being said, how many babies you want? But let's go this way. 2, for his future. One thing I can say about the city of Cleveland, they have the most loyal fans that you can have. And with that being said, it would behoove to get it to get that city behind him. Because once that city is behind him, his future and his legacy is going to be graved in stone. And the reason I say it's going to be graved in stone, ain't nobody else winning Cleveland. All they know is Bernie Kosar. And Bernie Kosar didn't win nothing because they John Elway stopped them from winning. So with that being said, if you go to Cleveland and you win, oh my goodness, 1 championship in Cleveland is more than 4 anywhere else. That's why LeBron James gets so much credit. That 1 championship in Cleveland weighs more than some people getting 2 and 3 because it's so hard to win in Cleveland. So with that being said, me personally, if they respected me, it would only go on this one here. If they treated me with dignity and respect, I would stay. If they don't treat me with dignity and respect, for me, if I'm 2, I'm going to be the starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. And we can call it a day. Back to you, B-Wise.
Oh, man. Check this out. Well, check this out then, Steve. JR, y'all check this out. The owner himself. If you seen the videos that I done posted, he been out there. That's about all the record minute, Cap. I don't know no owner go out there and do that. Yeah, look at the other day I did my live one morning. I said, man, y'all look at that video with that dude with that blue Izard sweater with them JR glasses on, Coach Prime glasses on, with that white hair. Look like he been to the Kentucky Derby. Look like he won. He owned one of them horses out there.
Probably do.
Yeah.
He probably
Hey,
do.
but he out there checking two out, man. If y'all go look at that video, he out there checking two out. He been trying though, Steve, JR, to get the city of Cleveland a quarterback. He tried it with Deshaun Jackson. He tried it with Baker Mayfield. He even tried it with Johnny Money Manziel. I guess that don't mean that. JR shook his head said, man, that don't mean that. He tried it. He tried it. Uh, they got a text. Who it is? Oh, Miss V. How you doing, Miss V? Oh, y'all. Oh, man, I'm sorry to hear that. Miss V just texted me said her grandmama just passed.
Oh,
She was 100 years old, young. Her funeral is May the 17th. Hey, we praying for you, Miss V.
definitely
Sorry to hear that.
condolences.
Condolences
Condolences
to
and
you.
prayer.
Praying for you.
Oh,
Said she watching. Uh, Prayers up for Miss V and her family. She lost her grandmother. But like I was saying, he been trying, Stevie. Deshaun Watson. Yeah, that man almost $300 million. He tried it with Baker Mayfield. Johnny Manziel, the money man. He been trying. What does that say about the owner? What y'all think about the owner of the Cleveland Browns? He building a brand new $1 billion dome stadium.
I'm gonna say this, B Watts. I know one thing about the owner. He almost, I mean, we talking about close to $250 million when he signed Deshaun Watson. It was guaranteed. He got money. He got deep pockets. I know that. Because the rest of the NFL was upset. How you go out and sign this man to a guaranteed $250 million? He ain't won nothing. So everybody in the NFL's kind of like, oh Lord. Because I remember Lamar Jackson contract was coming up right behind that. They was like, well, if Deshaun getting 230, Lamar Jackson got to be getting 250 then. But it didn't work out like that. You know, they kind of tapered it back down and brought it back down to reality. But that owner, I look, he just throwing stuff at the wall and he trying to make it. If I throw enough money at it, it'll work out. That's what he doing. Let me just I'm doing my part as owner. Let me just throw money at it. It'll work out. Miles Garrett was out the door. He told him, "Look, I'm done with the organization. How much you want, Miles? What can we do to keep you, Miles?" Miles probably went in there with a blank check. Well, this the going rate for the defensive end. Well, I want this. All right, let's reset the market. Great, let's do it. That easy. So he looking to put money into the situation. Now, I don't know what the rest of the people are doing when it comes to hiring GMs and coaches. They just couldn't quite get that right. When Manziel was there, couldn't get it right. Manziel was a headache within itself, but then Baker came in, got them to the playoffs, but then they couldn't get that right with the coaching situation. They just couldn't figure it out. Then you bring in Stefanski. Stefanski holding on for dear life at this point. Barry holding on for dear life at this point. So the owner doing this part, he putting the money out there. Look, they gonna get a new stadium built. They looking for a winner. The city is looking for a winner. Cleveland been down and out for quite some time. When the hottest ticket in Ohio is Ohio State, and you got a professional team there in that state, that's a problem. Like people love college football, but at the end of the day, the NFL, we're talking about $1 billion corporation. We're talking about organizations that are evaluated at billions of dollars. He sell that team right now, he could probably sell it for easy. Probably 2, 3 billion. Easy. So he putting the money into it. Now his hiring practices, I question that. But they got him 1 and 2, and he out there. He looking. He like this. He looking over them shades. All
See,
right now. gonna make some of his money back. Yes, sir. That's what they're looking at. He looking, we know we finna make some of this money back. So we'll see. And I'm sure he owns some horses in that Kentucky Derby. He just seemed like that type of guy.
He
It's
looked
you,
like
Uncle
it,
Steve.
dude.
It just seemed like that type of guy. It's you, Uncle Steve.
B Watts, what it tells me about the owner is this here. Just because you got money don't mean you too smart. Because all we think, oh man, that person got all that money. They got to be smart. There's idiots out there every day. There's idiots out there every day. You ain't too smart to me if you give a man $240 million and he got more charges than doggone my credit card. It's not that ain't a smart investment. I would never. And Unc means never. When I run your credit report, when I run that credit report and I see, oh, and then I do your background history, I said, man, we can't do no business. It's just not good money. That's the first thing. The next thing is this one here. He was desperate. Desperate man makes anybody desperate make bad decisions. So those are two things that he was at that time. Even Jerry Jones, he desperate. Jerry Jones ain't got too many more days, and he's seeing his greater days his best days have passed him, and he's trying to hit something right now, and he's making bad decisions because he's thinking right now. I got to have it that microwave, so they're making bad decisions. You got to have a vision. A man with you got to. You can look in the Bible. The Bible tell you got to have vision, man. You go nowhere without vision. And people look like, well, you got to, like some of y'all need to have. My wife, she got her little board, her vision board. She gets up in the morning, she do her prayers, and she looks at her vision board, and everything on her vision board as a family, we praying on that, we looking at that every day. She looking at it, and by the time the year ends, everything on that vision board we got, it's vision. With owners, the problem is they listen to people all the time. Oh, sir, you should do this here. We need to have this here. We got to get this here player. No, you don't. Stick with your vision. Once you get that vision, stick to it. You can make some changes and you can go from there. Cleveland has no vision, man. And I'll give you an example. Look at Philadelphia. I can tell you the Philadelphia Eagles are so doggone good. Even when before they defensive tackles get ready to be retired, 2 years before they retire, they got 2 replacements for their defensive tackles. They defensive ends, when they getting ready to be in their last 2 years of their final year of their contract, they already got their replacements. They were gonna have their replacement for quarterback, but that Cleveland Browns did what Cleveland does. They killed joy. They took the joy away from the city from Philadelphia. But with that being said, the owner needs to step back, and I think what he needs to do, if he's going to let Barry run his organization, let Barry run the organization. He can't come in. I think now one thing I can say he did was smart. He overrode Barry on this one here, and as the owner, you should. Two has never had anything criminally, anything off the court issues. Never. He's a 4.0 student. He says the right things. He produces. As an owner, I don't care what my general manager said. I can overturn this one. We're getting it, regardless of what you say. That's the best move he done made. And that move there might be the move that changed the city of Cleveland. Back to you, B. Wise.
Yep, that's the move gonna save him. I know one thing. Y'all say what y'all want. Almost 500 people tuned in tonight. That was the move that saved sports. That would be what? I had to look back from where I came from. That's in the Bible. Miss Me, appreciate that super chat. Appreciate that super chat. Appreciate you, Mr. Owner. That should do it. It's hot. Look here. I want to talk about some of the CUs the CUs that's in the NFL. Let me start with Steve on this. Can Travis Hunter be the face of the NFL?
Well, you asking a question. Can he?
Yes, sir. Can
Absolutely.
he?
What the NFL wants to stand for. A good, clean, wholesome, quality person. They get enough noise about the criminals they got with the criminal activity. So when you get somebody who comes in there, and the difference is this one here, and this is sometimes I don't want Travis to be the face of the NFL sometimes, because when you got a heart like Travis does, I just don't want certain things to get around him to mess, you know what I'm saying? Because you can look at it, they will just people when you see a person with a good heart and does things the right way. I give you an example. Look at Russell Wilson. Russell does things pretty much. Russell, one of them clean cut guys, does things the right way. Look how people pick on the poor boy, poor man. Oh, look what Future do to talk about it like he a sucker. You see, he do, and that's how people are. They will pick at people when because they just don't want somebody to be, people go and say, it's just something about that. He's a good guy. It's guys out there so jealous. They're going to come, well, he ain't. They'll start getting personal. Well, did you hear about this? That had nothing to do with Travis. You're talking about another person, and I'll leave that alone. But they'll do things to hit at him. So sometimes, to protect people like Travis, he can and should be the face of the NFL. But I want Travis just to ease in there and let it just come up and just let it be natural. If it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. It's not going to stop him from being in the Hall of Fame or anything else. But some things, just let it go where it's, I tell people like bluegrass, just let it go where it's just natural and it happens. So with that being said, yes, he can be the face of the NFL, but being the face of the NFL, it costs you. It's going to cost you, because doing that, people are going to attack you. And I'd rather him just concentrate on his game than to worry about those haters just because they don't like the fact that that young man doing it the right way, they'll attack him. Back to you, B. Wise.
Appreciate that. Same question, JL. Thank you for the super chat there, Coach G999. Appreciate you. Coach, JR, can Travis be the face of the NFL if he plays offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball? Can he?
He can, definitely can. Look, what is the organization willing to put behind him? That's gonna be the biggest thing. Right now, it's like they like newlyweds. Everything is great, right? No injury involved, no bad play on the field, nothing. This is the newlywed stage. So right now the organization is they all in. We doing everything we need to do because the young man we seen in the college, he gonna produce. He has a great personality, has a huge following. Everything lines up. But like Unc just said, from what we know about Russell Wilson, good man, take care of his kids, say the right things in the media. He done won a Super Bowl, everything else. But the court of public opinion, quick to tear you down, man. Quick to tear you down and compare you to somebody that's not even on your level. So for Travis, what is the organization willing to do? Because it's going to be a sacrifice on both sides. It's a sacrifice for the organization, it's a sacrifice for Travis Hunter. It's an ultimate sacrifice. Colorado had to sacrifice. Coach Prime had to sacrifice. Travis had to sacrifice for all of that to come to fruition for a Heisman. His play on the field, that's going to take care of himself. How you manage him in practice, how you manage him through the week, how you put him in the spotlight in front of the media. Those are the things that what I'm gonna say is that Jacksonville, they're not used to that. They haven't had it. Not that I know of. I mean, I haven't watched Jacksonville outside of them just being in the division that my Texans are in, AFC South. Man, I haven't watched Jacksonville since Fred Taylor and David Garrard, like, you know, and I was a young boy at that time, so I'm not worried about Jacksonville. That's why they send them
Mhm.
overseas 5, 6 times during the year. I mean, they stay in London. I've been to their stadium. They can't sell out for nothing. Now they don't have to worry about that now because the excitement of it, the newlywed phase of it. So what is the organization willing to sacrifice for Travis? Because Travis gonna give you his all. We've seen that. We talking about 4.0 student, graduated in 3 years, Heisman Trophy winner, Bolitnikoff Award winner, Paul Horn Award winner, winner, chicken dinner. The boy can win. He know winning. He know play on the field. How they manage his body, how they manage his reps. Do they put him in the best position? Do you run him on the fly and then it's 3rd and 10, and then now he back out there 1st and 10 and he covering Tyreek Hill or AJ Brown or Nico Collins? How do they go about taking care of him? That's the biggest thing. We know he built for it. Jacksonville, are they built for it? Coach Dre, is Jacksonville built for it? I don't know. But we know Travis gonna do his part. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say he will be the face of the NFL because when you look at where these young men are now and these 7-on-7 camps and they wear pajamas, they were like Travis wear pajamas everywhere. That's what all the young boys do. They all do it. In my nice gated community, these young men get off their bus and they got on sleep clothes coming from school. I asked my wife, I had to ask my
That's
neighbor, hey man, I saw
true.
your son come, and he had on. Yeah, man, that's just what they doing these days. So I mean, the NFL is a money league. They're gonna put Travis out there on Front Street because it's a money league. Jacksonville need
Yeah,
that money. They thirsty for it. They thirsty.
right.
But Travis gonna do the right thing, man. It's to you, B-Box.
All right. Steve, I just sent you a text. But anyway, JR, let me come at you. Check this out. Stand with the CU bus in the NFL, right? Shiloh, Shiloh Sanders in Tampa Bay, and any other player that's in the NFL as a undrafted free agent. To me, my opinion, Shiloh has the best chance of making a team. When you look at the undrafted free agents, undrafted, not the drafted, the undrafted, which one of those players has a better chance to making their team?
Yeah, B Watch, I don't God, me agreeing with B Watch, y'all. It's but I gotta agree with you, B Watts. That Shiloh guy, he has the best path forward. Like I said, Antoine Whitfield Jr., we talking about he is a pro bowler. That man is a baller. Who the other guy next to him? Don't know. They drafted a few guys. Who? I don't know. I'm not a follower of Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but I know he has the opportunity
Right.
to make that team. I know the head coach is a defensive minded coach. I know special
True.
teams is important in the NFL. These things I
True.
know. So if Shiloh gonna go in and he gonna make his name, Tabo's looking for that. He's a defensive guy. They're looking for that. So he gonna go in. Shiloh gonna do what we know Shiloh know how to do. He gonna go in there. He gonna work hard. He gonna be charismatic. He gonna be a good teammate. He gonna be in the right place at the right time. He gonna make that tackle. He's going to be a professional. He's going to be a young man you don't have to worry about outside the facility. So that's the investment that we putting into him. That 2.9, we putting that into Shiloh. Okay, we ain't got to worry about that. And we can get some productive play on the field for a low cost. Overhead ain't high, it's a low cost. So shout out 2-8, man. 2-8 headache game CEO Shiloh, man. Shout out to him for real, for real.
Well, the guy asked us a question and then a loaded question and then be like, oh, who's the first one, that has the best chance to make that team? The way I see it is this one here. Shiloh has a fantastic opportunity because JR, you hit it. He's with a defensive coach, and if you're looking at it, they're paying him $1 to go out there and do all the dirty work. So, and with the salary caps and everything else, it's just a smart move. You get someone on your team that can put some people in the seats because of his name and because of how people love him. And then you got the opportunity. He's going to do special teams. You got a player now that can really make special teams special. So you got that. You also have it where, hey, if somebody go down in the backfield, you got an experienced player who's played a lot of, college football that can get out there and should be able to perform at that safety position. But I also see BJ Green to me. And the reason I say BJ Green because of the same things. He's going to be very cheap. He's explosive. He I tell people all the time, he make plays. When you get a player that can make plays like he can, and you don't have to pay him a lot of money, and Jacksonville is perfect for him. So, I think BJ Green is going to definitely make that team. Cam's going to make the team, pertaining to it. Because what teams know is this one here. We need players that want to play special teams, and we need them on the cheap. And when they get players like that, even if they didn't make it, they'll make the 12-man reserve or whatever the case may be, and then they'll bring them on up from there. So I see them making a team, and I see them doing big things. I think Shiloh will get out there first, and then you'll see BJ Green, where if an injury or something, you'll see him out there. But special teams, they'll make it special. And B Watch, you found one there, sir. You found one. So the headache game is on top when it comes to this one here. Back to you, B Watts.
All right, last question. I'm gonna get y'all out of here, my fellas, and I appreciate everybody for watching Sports Talk. We'll be wise. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, join the membership. We thank everybody for tuning in tonight with Uncle Steve and J.R. Box. Colorado football team. Colorado football team. JR. That wide receiver room look good. That wide receiver room loaded. That wide receiver room for Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffaloes, along with that tight end, Zach Atkins, is loaded. That wide receiver room led by one of the best position coaches on the team in Coach Phillip. My question is, JR, Uncle Steve, and the chat, will Colorado wide receiver room be one of the best in the nation again? And if so, tell me why.
Y'all see what B Watch doing. He just want to hear that he right. Cause he know I said that they gonna have 1,000 yard running back. So he just trying to put it in my face. Saying wide receiver team at the position loaded. Loaded like a baked potato. You know they loaded. Come on, man. Oh, look,
JR,
man.
you smart, man. I
They
just want
they
to hear
got
your
a
answer.
see, they got a lot of talent, man. They have an abundance of talent in the room. I mean, to list them all, start from the top. We talking about Draylon. We talking about the Millers. Let me just say the Millers, because we know we talking about Owen Dre. Then you got Sincere, newly acquired. Hakeem Williams, newly acquired. JoJo Williams, the Williams boys acquired. Isaiah Hodge is waiting for his time. You got TT. You got my Texas guys, Farrakhan and Q6. They just, I mean, there's talent, an abundance of talent, all different sizes, shapes, speeds. Um, man, just you're right, B Watts. I mean, 1,000 yards for a running back may not come. You're right. But when it does come, and if it does come, B Watts, you ain't gonna hear the end from me. I'm just say that.
Yeah.
But yes, it is a very talented, very loaded room. And Uncle Neely. Shout out to Uncle Neely pregame show, man. They put out a small snippet with Coach Phillips, man, and I took a listen to it. It's about a 9 minute something clip. It was good, man. It
Okay.
was good to hear Coach Phillips, and we see the style of play that the receivers play, but to see him back it up with the words and the expectations and what he has seen from the receiver group and the incoming guys, the expectations that he has set forward, like Bucky said, man, it's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. So salute to you, B Watts. You set me up. You see what he did, Uncle Steve. You set me up, but it's all good, man. It's all good. Who else you running off to the portal? But the portal closed now, B Watts, so you can't run off
It
nobody else.
closed up, me,
You
dog.
can't
It
do it no
closed
more, B
up, man.
Watts.
I'm trying to figure out. Augustine, I'm trying to see that you say TT or PP.
TT. Terrell
Oh,
Timmons.
okay. I,
Who is PP?
said, I thought you don't call the man PP. Now I
Nah,
said, man,
I ain't gonna do him like that, man. TT. Shout out to Terrell Timmons, man.
okay
He,
then. I
he a
said you
North
don't call the
Carolina
man
guy,
PP.
man. He's a
Coach
North
Phillips on
Carolina
his
guy.
head. Now you on his head. Talk to me, Steve.
Well, I'm gonna say this here because I heard some stuff, and then I'll get to that. I want to get this out of here. I heard some things last week, and I was like, man, I heard, and I was like, well, that ain't right. Some people were like, they showed Coach Prime something when it pertained to the draft. And I looked at it, I'm like, they didn't show Coach Prime nothing when it came to the draft. They showed him that what he said was true. He got people drafted to the NFL and he got people opportunity to the NFL. Everything he said came true. Now, it might have not came true with the number that he said, which is fine. I can still say this is what I see. What I see is this here. He did everything he needed to do, and those young men did everything they needed to do, and you got men drafted. You got men drafted into the NFL. You got your whole wide receiver group in the NFL. You got them defense, got the edge rushers and everybody else. You got a guy on special teams that ain't even start games opportunity in the NFL. So I just don't want people to go out and throw a narrative ever that they showed him something. They didn't show him anything. He showed them that he knows what he's talking about, and that when he's telling y'all that these people are legit and are ready to go, that's what it is. So I go by what I see and the numbers. If they would have showed him something, he wouldn't have got nobody drafted. That's showing somebody something. He got the second pick in the draft. Name another coach who got the second pick in the draft, because there's only one. That's him. So with that being said, I think we need to make sure when we're saying things, I get it. Well, I get what they're saying. Now they slapped him upside the head for his son, but that's something totally different. That was a charge that they did for him, because that's what they do. They did that to the Indians. They did it. They do it to quite a few people. So it just happens like that. But getting back to it, I will tell you this one here. Coach Prime is the hottest thing going, and if I'm a young man, that's the only place I'm going. Period, because what he has shown you is this one here. He had the guy got drafted. He didn't get drafted. He got last year, made the Miami Dolphins, and he played part-time. And the guy made the team, and he went in there and spoke to the team, telling about, hey, how him doing special teams and stuff, defensive end or something. The guy on there, and he made the Miami Dolphins team. So all I'm telling people is this one here. Watch our words, because we go in there and let somebody else say something, and I don't buy it. I just don't buy certain things. And that things like that, I'm going to say something. I am going to always say something. If you're a young man, and Lord knows don't let you be a receiver, goodness gracious. And what he's going to do next, he's going to change the narrative about offensive linemen. Because what y'all got to realize, the Seton Express is going to be a top 5 pick. He should be 1-2. But they so crazy about these quarterbacks that can't quarterback, that's going to be out of the league in 3 or 4 years, and you're going to miss out on a generational offensive left tackle. That's just stupidity. I'm drafting that left tackle because he's in the league 14, 15 years, Pro Bowl, and a quarterback that might not even be your quarterback after 2 or 3 years. So with that being said, he got that. And if Otis does what he's supposed to and Barnes does what he's supposed to, the narrative is going to change with defensive tackles. They'll be going drafted high in the first or second round, and teams will see that. So I try to throw stuff out. These are facts when it pertains to what what's going to happen and what Coach Prime is doing. So, and the next thing I'll tell you is this one here. Look at the quality of men that are produced at Colorado. Quality young men. You don't hear all that foolishness. You don't hear people killing people in cars. You don't hear people with the accusation of sexual assault. You're not hearing people wrecking cars and doing all that. You're not hearing kids not graduating. It's not happening up at Colorado. And so when we're talking, let's talk stuff that makes sense and is true. Let's not go on our emotions on what we saw or heard somebody else saw. We can go from there. Now I digress because I couldn't let that go. Let's go wide receivers. Let's go this one here, B. Watts. Coach Phillips need a pay raise because not only does he coach, he recruits. Not only does he produce. I'm telling you, if you look at Jimmy numbers, you'd be like, man, how did he? But Jimmy is a complete. No. You got to hear what I'm saying. You got to hear what I'm saying. Normally, if you look at any teams, when you see people get drafted like that, they have some numbers. They have pretty big numbers. They have 1,000, 1,200 yards. But Jimmy is a complete receiver. He is well coached. So that's where I'm going with it. This is a Coach Phillips on how he coaches. The next thing I like about Coach Phillips is this one here, what they loved about Jimmy. Jimmy is selfless. Jimmy wasn't the one man. Jimmy probably wasn't the two man. He was the third option, second or third option. And that you have to be selfless for that because if not, you're going to go and mess up the whole receiver room because all you talking about, get me the ball. Get me the ball. I should be getting the ball. But when teams see stuff like that, they'll pick Jimmy because the fact we can bring him into our room, he's not going to cause any trouble. If he don't get the ball, we'll have special plays for him, and the locker room is good to go because CeeDee Lamb going to get 36 attempts, and you just going to get 3, and you better be happy with it. You need those receivers. But let's go also this one here. Look at Mathis 13. That kid is a heck of a receiver. He's just been hurt, but if you look, and people are like, well, what do you mean? Look at how he run routes. Look at how he carries. Look at how he sees things on the field. Look how he gets into the open slots and position spots on the field where he knows where to go. That's coaching. And a lot of it to do with his daddy too, because you have a daddy, Coach Mathis. It helps you too. But the wide receiver room is well coached. And if Sincere Brown and Hakeem and Williams come over and take their pride out of it, they are going to excel at Colorado because Jason Phillips can flat out coach. Back to you, B. Watson.
That's a good take, fella. He sure can, man. I didn't get a chance to see that on Uncle Neely. Y'all said it's out this week or today by the wide receiver coach.
It came out. Uncle Neely put it out yesterday. It was yesterday. He dropped it yesterday.
Yeah, early this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
nice too. It was real nice.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, that's the end of the show tonight. We want to thank everybody for rocking with us on a Tuesday night. Uncle Steve and JR Box, we appreciate them for stopping by and sacrifice their time to come over here and talk to us about Shedeur Sanders and the Colorado football team. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. I got 28 minutes to talk to you at 11 a.m. And then I'll be back at the 8 p.m. Eastern time. Big Tiger Media will be my special guest tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern time. JR, take us out, my brother. You and Uncle Steve.
All right. Hey, B Watts, like I said, man, it's always a pleasure getting with you, man. Appreciate the time and the space and you curating a space for me and Uncle Steve to come up here and talk some sports, talk some Colorado football, talk some Shedeur tonight, man. Uh, and I do want to give a shout out to Miss V Ritchie, man. She is always in the chat. Lovely lady in the chat. She supports us very, very well. Thank you so much. And my condolences tonight in my prayers. I will put the V Ritchie family in my prayers. But if B Watt said it correctly, 100 years, what a life. What a life. So my prayers, you will be added to my prayers tonight. And Coach Dre, you as well. Your community has been in my prayers. So that will continue. But this is a family over here. So salute to everybody in the chat, man. Thank y'all for the support. The family is growing. Appreciate the love. We can feel the love. It's to you, Uncle Steve.
I have to concur with what you said, JR, with that, especially for the people in the chat. And I just thank them for just even sharing that information with us. And we send our prayers and everything out to the family pertaining to that. We also say this one here, it's the safe place. This is a safe space over here. And being a safe space, people feel comfortable with expressing themselves, and people really do care about each other. And that's beautiful to see, because you got places, all they do is just nasty. Nasty. And people get tired of that mess. We see it on TV enough. It's nice to be able to come somewhere and people act sensible and with decency and respect. That's just something new. Once again, thank y'all for coming out. It's always a pleasure. We just want to have a good time, express our opinions, and then listen to your opinions and go from there when it pertains to that. Again, this is the B Watch Show, and we want to make sure that y'all like, subscribe, and join his membership, because the young man, he need, if y'all pay him, if y'all take care of him enough, his hair will grow. And if his hair will grow, we'll get a little bit more. So with all that being said, JR, what I like is this here. You're just like the Jeffersons. You done moved on up and you got into that gated community. Boy, I know how you feel, because it ain't nothing like going to that gate. All the thing, putting that little thing up, the gate comes up and the bar comes up and the gate up. Boy, that's a good feeling. I was like, boy, I know what heaven gonna feel like. Just get me on in there, baby. Just get me on in there.
With
that being said, thank y'all. God bless.
Get you on in there.
God bless and have a good night. And it's to you, B Watts.
All right, one thing I did. Steve said, just like the Jeffersons, they're moving on up. One thing I can Steve and JR once again tonight. Miss Veronica. Man, it got so many names. I guess I said the wrong name. It ain't Miss V Riches. It's Miss Veronica. She just texted me. Said, thank you, JR. Veronica. Thank you, Uncle Steve. Thank you, chat, for the prayers and everything. She just texted me again. Okay, it's Veronica, not Miss V Tech. All right. But once again, Sports Talk. We'll be what? Don't forget to tune in tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. Thank all of y'all. Y'all have a good night and be blessed. Appreciate it, Steve. Appreciate it.
I'm impressed with the way Shedeur threw the ball. Like, it jumps off his hands and spins it. Stefanski walks over. And it's Shedeur's turn. He calls him over. He relays something to him. Shedeur goes in the huddle. Like, that's what they're evaluating. Take the play call, command the huddle, get everyone lined up. You look at Shedeur Sanders, he looks like he throws it like an NFL quarterback.
Did one of the two look better to you in what they were asked to do than the other?
In just throwing the ball, it's not close. Shedeur Sanders.
Actually, Shiloh's actually 8 months older. Okay, I get it. But when you talk about his game, he's not gonna have a New York media, Cleveland media. Listen, it don't get no bigger than Coach Prime. I mean, he went from an HBCU and put that on the map, and then went to a Division I school in Colorado, who, by all accounts, let's just keep it real. When they went to Colorado, they had Coach Prime, Travis Hunter, Jimmy Horn, and Shedeur Sanders. That was it. With those three people and one guy who don't play in Coach Prime, they turned that Colorado program from a 1-something over to a 9-win team that was talked about being in the playoffs. So they don't got much up front. They never had much up front. The guy can throw the football. I think he understands. He's really smart. It's not going to be too big for him. However,
are you practicing to practice, or you practicing to be great?
which way am I going?
What's coming? You on the way.